So I'd like to show you the latest version of Microsoft Math, version 4.0. This version is completely free, and so you can actually download it. If you go to search engine, you can type in Microsoft Math and usually find a download link from Microsoft. Um, but being that this program is free, I highly recommend it for those who just need a tool to help solve math problems, etc. So I'm going to show you a few of the things that you can do with it. Within the context of a workspace here, I can just go ahead and type in basic mathematical statements like 2 plus 2, and you get the answer is 4. I can also do things algebraic, meaning I can include a variable there. And what it'll do is it'll actually show me options that it'll provide for me and with working with that mathematical statement. So I'm going to plot this expression in 2D. And what that allows me to do basically is I can see here the line that the points satisfy here. And we can see that it starts here, goes up 2 points, and so it's adjusted 2 points up, which is for the plus 2, and we can see that the slope here is 2 because the rise over run is 2 here. If we remember the standard, this particular form is mx plus b in this case. We can actually look at those equations, which is a great time to show that. We can go over here and look at some of the formulas and equations. So if we go to algebra, we can actually look at the slope-intercept equation of a line. So that's actually what I was referring to. But there are several other forms for a line, and slope of a line is y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1, which is basically rise over run. Okay, so so basic you can visualize basic equations. You can also look at more complicated equations. For example, I can look at sine x as an example. I can plot this in 2D. Now it's also, as you saw, has 3D features. I'm not going to show those features, although they are available and they're pretty cool too. Okay, so I've showed you a couple of the graphing capabilities. I want to also show you something that you can do. You can use an equation solver. For example, let's say I want a simple equation: x squared plus 2x equals 8. It'll show me not only the two solutions, but it'll also show me the steps that it took to solve those solutions, or solve that problem. So it either has the quadratic formula or completing the square. Okay. Now I don't believe that it does the cubic formula for depressing a cubic equation, but I do think that it does provide you the answers for complicated polynomials greater than exponent 2, which is what a quadratic equation is. So it's got some advanced features. I'm starting to get into the more advanced math at this point. It does have a lot of trigonometry functions. It's got a lot of statistical capabilities. You can work with a lot of data. So if you want to import some data and perform, you want to figure out what the median is of a particular set of numbers, you can do that. It has calculus features. So let's say I want to take the integral, the indefinite integral of x squared. So we see the indefinite integral sign here, and an x squared. We're actually going to have it compute for us the integral. Now remember, of course, the plus c, because there's a constant involved. But basically, this here will output that. Now we can also differentiate on it. We can get back our original equation. Now, if you remember the fundamental theorem of calculus, you'll understand the relationship between integration and differentiation. But you can see, and you can sort of see some of these things. Now, remember, if we are to integrate on x, basically we want to find the antiderivative of it. The integral whose derivative is the smaller f function that we're trying to find the big F function for. So we can do this for all sorts of functions. And of course, I could show you some of those, but actually you can sort of look and you can see them for yourself because they're here. And it also, one of the things, if you're doing complex numbers, one of the things you need to remember is that is available for you. If you're doing advanced mathematics and you're needing to do functions that involve complex numbers, then you can do that. Now, if you don't remember what a complex number is, it's basically a number where you've got a real and imaginary part. Now, typically the way that complex numbers are represented is something like 3 plus 5i, where 3 is the real part and 5 times I is is the imaginary part. I am going to mention something. If you're ever wondering about trigonometry, it's an interesting part of mathematics that involves relationships between sides of a triangle. But I think that really what happens is trigonometry is really important for a lot of things. Um, and one of the things you're going to start finding out, if you don't already know this, and this is one of the cool things about this program, is you can really explore some of the math, is that there's a big relationship between trigonometry and complex numbers. And a lot of this comes in handy when you're dealing with very complicated equations, especially when you're trying to solve what's called a differential equation. There are several tools in here that actually can help. I wouldn't say this program is the best program for dealing with very high-end mathematics because it doesn't have all the features that, for example, Mathematica has or MATLAB. But it has quite a few, and so it's free, and I really recommend it. I think it can do a lot of cool things, and I think it can really help people who want to have, there's just so many cool things built into it, like formulas and equations, unit converter, just a lot of stuff that I think that a student of high school, college, even before high school, middle school, all of those groups could really benefit from this. But again, I want to keep this short, so I just wanted to kind of show you some of those features. And anyway, good luck and have a good one.